Hi, I'm David Neese with EV World News. From EV breakthroughs to clean energy milestones, here's what moved the industry this week.
Let's start with General Motors. GM announced it will reduce near-term electric vehicle output in North America. That includes delaying the Orion plant retooling in Michigan and shifting some Silverado EV volume to Mexico. The company says it's prioritizing profitability over volume, reflecting tougher U.S. demand. It's another sign that legacy automakers are learning to pace their EV ramp carefully. Next up, Stellantis. The automaker is recalling about 92,000 vehicles in the United States over a defect that can cause loss of drive power. The recall affects several electrified trims. For consumers already skeptical about EV reliability, recalls like this don't help confidence. Meanwhile, at Tesla, the board is proposing a new performance-based pay package for Elon Musk that could be worth up to $1 trillion. The plan spans 10 years and ties to ambitious targets for valuation, production, and autonomy. Investors will have to weigh the benefits of retaining Musk against concerns over governance and dilution. A positive charging update. Starting September 9th, Porsche EV owners will gain access to over 23,000 Tesla Superchargers across the United States and Canada. Initially, this will be through the Tesla app, but soon through the My Porsche app with plug-and charge enabled. Porsche will supply NACS adapters now, with native ports coming in 2026. On the charging company front, ChargePoint reported revenue of about $99 million for the quarter, with gross margins improving to the low 30% range. The company guided next quarter revenue to between 90 and 100 million. It's a reminder that the charging sector is stabilizing financially, though growth is still lumpy. But revenue isn't the same as reliability. A new analysis from J.D. Power found that nearly 1 in 5 public chargers in Los Angeles and about 1 in 7 in San Francisco were out of order. Reliability remains one of the most persistent barriers to EV adoption, especially in dense metro areas where home charging isn't always possible. Turning to the grid, Hitachi Energy says it will invest $1 billion in U.S. transformer and grid equipment factories, including a new plant in Virginia. With electric demand surging from data centers and transportation, more domestic transformer capacity is essential for EV charging and grid upgrades. In policy news, a coalition of Democratic-led states is preparing legal and policy challenges to counter recent federal rollbacks on EV programs and funding. Lawsuits and state-level programs are expected to serve as a backstop, ensuring incentives and targets don't evaporate entirely. Back to the automakers. Ford announced a partnership with Southern Company to test managed charging in the Southeast. The pilot will allow utilities to coordinate home charging times, reducing grid strain and potentially lowering costs for drivers. Managed charging may be the simplest bridge between growing EV adoption and grid stability. A small but important policy update. The national associations representing state energy and transportation officials have endorsed the Federal Highway Administration's revised NEVI guidance. That means states are likely to hit their mid-September deadline for streamlined charging corridor plans. Expect more federally backed fast charger construction in the coming months. Rivian made a small workforce reduction this week, about 1 to 1.5%. The move is part of cost control as the company retools its Illinois plant for the upcoming R2. Rivian is under pressure to deliver the lower-cost model on time and prove it can scale profitably. Now to global news with U.S. implications. BYD cut its 2025 sales target to 4.6 million vehicles, citing slowing demand in China and tighter margins. For the U.S. market, this matters because BYD's global scale drives pricing pressure across the industry and influences tariff debates here at home. In Europe, CATL has sold its 20% stake in Valmet Automotive to Finnish state investors. Valmet is a key contract manufacturer for several EV programs. The move signals caution in Europe's slowing EV market and could ripple into U.S. supply chains connected to European component suppliers.
That's it for this week's EV World Update. I'm David Neese. Don't forget to subscribe and catch our live podcasts every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with Bill and Mike. See you next time.